everyone. Welcome to the weekend edition of National Focus. I'm your presenter, Tarnia Green. It's always a pleasure to have you join us. Among the major developments, head of the EU delegation to the Caribbean end his stint and speak of future EU relations with Dominica. Dinian John is the 2012 A-Level Island Scholar, and Lime Dominica launched a lineup for the 10th Creole in the Park event. Stay tuned as I bring you the details of these and other stories when National Focus returns. Welcome back. Time now for the details of the news. Head of the EU delegation to Barbados and the Eastern Caribbean, Ambassador Valeriano Diaz, is describing relations between the EU and the Caribbean over the past 4 years as fruitful. Ambassador Diaz is ending his stint in the Caribbean and over the past 2 days has been in Dominica paying a farewell courtesy visit. Ambassador Diaz, who arrived in Dominica on Thursday, paid a farewell courtesy call on Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit and President of Dominica, His Excellency Eliud Williams. He also met with representatives at the EU National Authorizing Office. I sat down with Ambassador Diaz on Friday and asked him about his stint, as well as plans for future cooperation between the EU and Dominica.
At the end of my tenure, I must say that I had to be satisfied because what we have achieved together, I think, has been very positive, very important for the relations of Europe with the islands, also for the development of the islands.
Dominica has enjoyed cordial relations with the European Union over the last 30 years and has received significant financial resources towards the sustenance of its banana sector. Ambassador Diaz confirmed that Dominica has received 150 million ICI dollars in assistance from the EU in the last 4 years towards projects and budgetary support.
In the last 4 years, which is what I can say, I can refer to because I know better, Dominica has got around, if I remember well, close to 50 million euro in assistance, which is roughly 150 million EC dollar, which makes a considerable figure. And that has been done both in projects and in budget support. Very much needed cash for the government in these challenging times.
The outgoing envoy noted that the new European Union policy called Agenda for Change will focus on the more impoverished countries. Ambassador Diaz has given the assurance, though, that Dominica will not stand to be affected by this policy.
It promotes the focus on these more impoverished countries. So more for the poor, less for the rich. In that respect, some middle-income countries will be so-called graduated from development cooperation aid. And that has happened already in Latin America. Okay? Some of the European countries, of the Latin American countries that received development cooperation from Europe has been graduated. Okay? But the cooperation will be done on a different level, scientific, university levels, etc. Something that may be even more interesting for their development because they have quite a level of development that do not require that development aid. In the case of the Caribbean, what I can say is that decision has not been taken yet, that there are simulation being done in Brussels so to see where the balance is, how much for the poor African countries and other, and how much for the Caribbean middle-income countries. What I can say is that, in my personal opinion, on the basis of what I have heard in Brussels, Dominica will not suffer.
Ambassador Diaz says Dominica will continue to receive a financial envelope from the European Union because of the island's continued vulnerabilities to natural disasters and external economic shocks.
The reasons basically is the argument that we have been using is the vulnerability of the island, Dominica and other similar islands. Not only vulnerability to natural disasters, which may have a big impact, as you know well here in the economy of the island, but also the vulnerability to external economic shocks, like in the case of the crisis. The margin of maneuver of these islands is very limited. So they are vulnerable, not only to hurricanes, but also to financial crisis. And that is an argument that has been heard in Brussels, and I think it will be taken into account seriously.
Ambassador Diaz thanked the government of Dominica for the management of EU projects and for the guidance and support of Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit, who has been following up on Dominica's portfolio with the European Union. Ambassador Diaz will leave the Caribbean shortly to take up his new post in Brussels. Dinian John is the 2012 A-Level Island Scholar. The announcement was made by Education Minister Honorable Peter Seja on Friday. Ms. John was among 74 students who sat this year's exam.
The author of merit list from the University of Cambridge International, the examining body which ranks the candidates in order of performance, reveals the following candidates as the top 3 for the 2012 session. Dinian John, Biology A*, Chemistry A*, Physics A, and General Paper E. Dennis Guy, Biology A*, Chemistry A*, Physics A*, and General Paper E. And Nicole Lloyd, Tishina Nicole Lloyd, Biology A, Chemistry B, and Physics C. General Paper E.
The Minister of Education has expressed thanks to all those who assisted the students.
Thanks must be extended to the support group program for facilitating the students with interest in pursuing the A-Level program. The sponsors of this program must therefore be commended for their interest in and commitment to the education sector, as this indeed helps in meeting our goal to have a graduate in every household.
Dinian is elated about having excelled in the exams.
I'm very glad to hear this news, and I would like to thank, as the Minister said, the members of the A-Level support program, especially Mr. Wilson and the pioneers and parents who began it. Congratulations to all the young people who did well in this year, and may there be even more good results. And I would like to also thank the Dominica State College.
Dennis Guy and Tanisha Nicole Lloyd are also outstanding students in this year's exams. The government of Dominica has given the commitment to meet the tuition fees of Dinian's university studies. And the preparations are continuing for the successful staging of Dominica's 16th World Creole Music Festival. Last week, 4 local media entities, namely DBS Radio, Kyrie FM, Marpin 2K4, and Sat Telecoms and Broadcasting, confirmed the gold sponsorship of this year's festival at the Dominica Festivals Committee's organized press conference. The media partners fully endorsed the World Creole Music Festival and pledged to market it extensively to the wider public.
We are very proud to be part of the 2012 WCMF this year, and we have been with the DFC from its inception of the Creole Festival during the time that Eddie Tulo was alive, may his soul rest in peace. And we have continued our partnership with the DFC and continue to increase our sponsorship.
As a nation station, we have seen the need of really, between this time, which is about less than 120 days, we have seen the need of giving 550 commercials to the DFC, exclusive of Watsons, exclusive of flashes, exclusive of time checks. And if we are to add the time checks, which we have decided that we'll give the Festival Commission 4 time checks per day, and to multiply that by 90, we can come up to the exact amount. That is the same for time checks, the same for flashes, and the same for Watson. So in our sponsorship and in our partnership with the World Creole Music Festival, we have seen the need of really publicizing this information, or the information of the World Creole Music Festival, to the larger audience.
It's a pleasure for MARPN to be on board this year yet again. WCMF is certainly a prestigious event that we all look forward to promoting, we as Dominicans, and MARPN 2K4 as a company in aiding the promotion. It speaks for itself. Advertising-wise, we want to give the public the opportunity to advertise our independence, and WCMF stands front and foremost as one of the events that we look forward to within our independence season.
We at SAT, we are very proud to be affiliated with the DFC and with the government of Dominica in promoting and staging this indigenous musical festival. SAT is always passionate and excited about such partnerships that has a local flavor, that has a local focus, so to speak, because we pride ourselves in saying SAT is 100% local, and we are committed to the to Dominica's cultural and artistic advancement. SAT has been with the DFC. We have rendered unwavering support for the past 10 years, and we are committed to working with the DFC for many more years to come.
And an extensive promotion of Dominica's 16th annual World Creole Music Festival kicked off in the French territories of Guadeloupe and Martinique this week and will continue into next week. Events Director of the Dominica Festivals Commission, Natalie Clark-Mead, says this promotion is expected to reap greater participation of French nationals at this year's festival. Festival promoter Leroy Wadico-Charles, along with DFC's Sobers Esprit, will spearhead the marketing of the event in the French islands.
We're expecting to do mini launches over in both of those islands, Guadeloupe this week and Martinique next week. And we look forward to those people coming and joining us in the park as they usually do, waving their flags and their rags and really enjoying the 15 acts that we have for this year.
Meantime, traditional beverage sponsors here have confirmed their sponsorship to this year's World Creole Music Festival.
Dominica Brewery and Beverage Limited, through its flagship product, Kubali Beer, we have been part of Creole Festival actually for the past 15 years. And this year being the Sweet 16 celebration in honor of our own local and international icon, Jeff Joe. I mean, we are honored to be part of another celebration of Creole Festival.
October is the beginning of the season, the festival coming up. I mean, that's always very exciting for all of us. Exciting for us as well in term of business. And I know that this year, even if we all go through some difficult time, I mean, we're all going to do our best to make this event a success.
Meantime, Caribbean has decided to give their support to the festival again this year following a 3-year absence.
We are happy to be on board for the Sweet 16, that's for sure. We feel that as a leader in the beer and stout segment, we owe it to the brand and our patrons to not only be present at this event, but also to support the very important initiative of showcasing Dominican's talent and culture, but also the region's style of music. This year's event promises to surpass 2011, and Whitchurch, Caribbean, and McPherson wish you a safe, exciting, and enjoyable 16th World Creole Music Festival.
The DFC also announced an exciting addition to this year's festival, Friday Duive at Crazy Coconuts. We will bring you the details in a future newscast. And we're happy to tell you that Lime Dominica has launched its 10th Creole in the Park affair, which will kick off from October 22nd this year. The launching ceremony was held on Thursday, mainly to announce the lineup for the week-long activity. Creole in the Park has, according to Tourism Minister Honorable Ian Douglas, added a new dimension to Dominica's independence celebrations.
Creole in the Park is a signature event in the Independence calendar. And Creole in the Park is opened up, or has been opening up, yet other significant avenues for culture and heritage expression in Dominica. With the scenic Botanic Gardens as the venue, very much like what we have been able to do with Creole on the fort, or Jazz and Creole at the Cabrits. That is really taking a page from Lime's Creole in the Park book and really modeling an event on the success that you all have been able to achieve over the years. And so this event has grown and become everyone's expectation, beyond everyone's expectation, and has attracted significant numbers of patrons to enjoy not only Creole music, but Creole food, art and craft in a family and friendly environment. Patrons, both local and from overseas, can have a taste of our Creole culture in its varied forms.
The minister also noted that the event presents an opportunity to new local talent to expose themselves at a national and regional level. Chief Executive Officer of the Discover Dominica Authority, Colin Piper, told the launching that Lime has contributed a very exciting fringe event to the Dominica experience, one which encourages participation from both locals and visitors.
DDA is charged with the mandate to increase the number of visitors to the island, but also to increase the amount of revenue spent on island by the visitors. And so I appreciate the efforts of Lime in assisting with this as a result of this event. We certainly appreciate the fact that as we look to how we can get visitors to leave more revenue on island, certainly extending the period for which they come is a viable option. And if you do so, it's good to have something for them to do while here. So the advent of Creole in the Park, along with the other independence celebrations, has really cemented what I believe to be, bar none, one of the best weeks of entertainment in the OECS and even in the wider Caribbean.
Chief Cultural Officer Raymond Lawrence praised Lime for providing an outlet by which more of Dominica's culture can be promoted.
Creole in the Park attracts many Dominicans and visitors alike and has provided the independence celebrations with another wonderful avenue for the expression of our Creole culture and its various manifestations. At the Creole in the Park, Lime also recognizes persons and groups who have distinguished themselves in the promotion and preservation of our cultural heritage with your presentation of the Creole Lifetime Achievement Awards. In supporting culture, you have been assisting with the development of the country and also assisting the promotion and advancement of the skills and talents of our people. In supporting cultural industry, you have been creating jobs for our people and helping our artists and cultural personalities to earn income for themselves.
Jeffrey Baptiste, manager of Lime Dominica, is quite proud of Creole in the Park and all that it has brought to the independence season. Baptiste said that the intention was to provide a natural, family-friendly environment within which Creole can be celebrated. He said that Lime has succeeded in changing the way visitors and locals view the independence season.
We now reflect on the image of wholesome activity inspired by the beauty of the Botanic Gardens, enveloped by the expressions of our cultural traditions. As we reflect, we see families sitting together, preschoolers dancing to our cultural music, the old folk listening to chords of Buyo and Kadas Lipso music, others strolling the grounds, savoring the ambience and appreciating the creativity of our people. The original concept for Creole in the Park would have seen a full day and night event at People's Park. However, further considerations at the drawing board materialized into a partnership with the government of Dominica and the Forestry Division to stage an explosion of Creole food, Creole music, art and craft, and culture featuring our local bands, our local cuisine, and the artistic work of our talented Dominicans.
Patrons of this year's Creole in the Park event can look forward to headline performances from Jamaican Mr. Vegas, Trinidadians Benjai and Cohen Dubois. Lime Dominica verbalized its commitment, like years past, to contribute a percentage of the event's gate receipts to the National Cultural Council and the Forestry, Wildlife and Parks Division. Earlier this month, Lime donated $16,000 to the National Cultural Council from gate receipts of the Creole in the Park event of last year. This year, patrons are being asked to make a contribution of $5 on days 1 to 3 and $10 on the final day. And that's the English segment of the news. We now join McPherson St. Luce for the Creole highlights.
Allô tout le monde, bienvenue à cette nouvelle en créole. Non moins, c'est McPherson St. Luce. Premièrement, ministre de l'Éducation a annoncé les résultats examination élèves aujourd'hui. Ministre de l'Éducation, Honorable Peter Saint-Jean, fait annoncement là pendant la conférence média aujourd'hui.
Premièrement, nous avons Danian John. Et Danian John tapé en A en biology, A en chemistry, A en physics. Et aussi en papier général, il tape en A. Et deuxièmement, nous avons Dennis Guy qui tape A en biology, A en chemistry, A en physics et aussi en A en papier général, general paper. Et Nicole Lloyd aussi, il tape en A en biology, en B en chemistry, en physics, il tape en C et en A en papier général.
Ministre Saint-Jean a complimenté tout officier et puis d'autres monde qui travaillent et puis c'est tout de là taper succès.
Moi je voulais complimenter un groupe qui nous tenir qui travaille avec ces étudiants, nous avons créé ça A-Level Support Group Programme et c'est eux qui t'ont éduqué ces enfants là. Et vraiment c'est monde là qui t'ont travaillé avec ces enfants, yo vraiment montré nous qui ont l'intérêt et commitment en développement éducation en Dominique et moi je voulais dire merci à groupe ça là. Mais moi je voulais créer aussi pour opportunité ça là pour remercier tout le monde qui travaille avec ces étudiants ça yo puisque vraiment nous nous les parents, nous les teachers à l'école et collège et aussi tout le monde en communauté a moi créé un pour travailler avec le ministre de l'Éducation pour nous développer Dominique et pour nous essayer de tous les enfants nous un bon succès en éducation et aussi aider nous pour développer le pays là.
En notre nouvelle, les partis Dominique a complimenté Dr. Carissa Etienne, a fait ou là électé comme chef Pan American Health Organization PAHO. Sinon, on parole parti là échoué. Ils ont aussi qu'à complimenter famille Dr. Etienne, ministre santé, gouvernement Dominique et puis Kawaïb en général pour si pour Dr. Etienne taper haut position salam. Parti là qui a aussi fait parole comment ils ont bien apprécié travail pour le ministère Honorable Roosevelt Skerrett, travail li taper Dr. Etienne et puis position au salam. Dominique les bon parti qui a fait parole, ça fait ou la Dr. Etienne tape position salam, ça même qu'a aussi né dominicain. Les bon parti Dominique a aussi complimenté président His Excellency Elwood Williams pour taper haut position salam. Il a aussi qu'a remercié ancien président Dr. Nicholas Liverpool pour service li pour la Dominique. En notre nouvelle, ministre Environ, Honorable Dr. Kenneth Darrow, qui a fait parole qui ont facilité les affaires l'argent qui est établi pour pousser et puis les affaires développement sustainable pour les pays. Honorable Darrow fait parole salam aux lignes de confiance qui tiennent à ce développement sustainable en Georgia.
Nous avons établi ça, nous avons un multilateral fund. Et bien ça c'est pour contribuer, pour voir comment nous mettons ces recommandations. Nous décidons de mettre ça, comment nous mettons en place, parce que nous savons que pays comme ça, nos petits pays comme ça, nous qui panigent l'argent. Oui, nous ne faisons pas bagaille, mais à la fois que ressources là, et l'argent pas là pour mettre l'agenda ça. Mais comme on dit, je suis proud du travail là que le ministère Environ a fait. muka senti bon que nous ka participer à toutes ces go meeting international ça. Dominique supposé senti proud because he's a joué un role leadership role at the affaires everywhere sustainable development. Nous savons que ça nous mettez ça nous créer climate resilient local strategy nous forward tout ce travail word là qui ministère environnement qu'a fait nous a commencé reward là actuellement because donc l'argent a commencé actuellement pour nous pousser un programme green economy nous le gouvernement Dominique nous a fait ça gouvernement Dominique c'est un qui a mettre bouche l'argent ou la bouche because nous avons investi comme l'argent en renewable energy et nous savons que l'énergie comme geothermal ça cause nous pour dépasser less ça nous créer fossil fuels et contribuer pour global warming et climate change.
Et puis finalement, la communauté chinoise en Dominique a coûté une responsabilité à eux pour le développement Dominique. Plus bonnet, semaine là, plus aide yo te mettez ensemble. Ou d'ailleurs fait donation pour l'école des enfants Campbell, bagaille avalé $28,000 l'argent. Quand même si l'on officier chinois Mary Wang, donation ça là c'est manière yo ka ba viwe public là, ka dit merci pour ce poyo. Wang fait parole qui une espoir donation ça là qui allait bien loin en des enfants en communauté là. Même toi aussi, même parlement, honorable Blackbody, on doit merci pour ces Chinois-là, à ces comptes gouvernement et puis communauté Campbell. Messieurs, mesdames, ça c'est tout pour nouvelles en Creole pour à présent. Non moins, c'est McPherson St. Luce. Et un bon week-end. Voilà.
Up next is the tip of the day. Today we'll share a few tips with you on how to do laundry. Learning how to do laundry is not difficult. Today's fabric detergents and machines take most of the mystery and mistakes out of the process. Follow these basic guidelines and you will have clean clothes to wear tomorrow. Here's how. 1. Check the labels. They will tell you whether an item can be machine washed. Place all clothes that are labeled wash separately or hand wash into separate piles. As a novice launderer, if it says dry clean only, believe the label and place it in a bag to take to the dry cleaners. 2. Sort laundry by color. Whites, pastels, light gray and white background prints will go in one pile. Deep colored clothes, for example, black, red, navy, brown, dark gray, go in another pile. 3. Sort each pile one more time by type of fabric. For instance, in the white, separate the towels and sheets from apparel. In the dark colors, separate t-shirts and jeans from lighter weight items like blouses and dress shirts. Washing by fabric types allows you the use of different types of water temperatures and keeps drying cycles simple. If there are not enough items to make up a full machine load of each type and you are in a hurry, you can wash all of each color together. Just be sure to choose the machine cycle to fit the most delicate items. Select an all-purpose laundry detergent and read the directions to determine how much to use. Most recommend adding the detergent to the washer before loading to prevent residue on the clothing. Unless your clothing is caked with dirt and heavily stained, washing in cold water will serve your needs and prevent most laundry disasters. Always rinse in cold water. There's no need for hot or warm rinse on any fabric. Check that all pockets are empty, even tissues and paper. Remove any accessories such as belts and jewelry and close all zippers and buttons. And that's National Focus. As usual, we invite your suggestions or your comments. So please feel free to drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm, or you can visit our website at news.gov.dm. You could visit our GIS Dominica pages on both YouTube and Facebook. On behalf of the entire news team, I'm your presenter, Tarnia Green. Thank you so much for watching and have yourselves a great weekend.